If you're someone who finds comfort in crafting, creating, or making things with your hands, you're in the right place. This video is for anyone who's ever used creativity as a way to slow down, cope, heal, or simply breathe for a moment. So while I work on this project, I want to talk to you about the connection between crafting and mental health, and why so many people turn to creativity during difficult times. There is a reason so many people turn to crafting during difficult times. Not because it solves everything, not because it replaces therapy or support or real conversations, but because creating something with your hands can quiet the mind in a way few other things can. I've heard people describe it in different ways. Some say crafting gives them a sense of control when life feels chaotic. Others say it slows their thoughts down enough to breathe again. Some people call it grounding, some call it peace. Some don't even have words for it yet. They just know they feel better after making something. We live in a world where most of our time is spent consuming, scrolling, watching, reacting, comparing ourselves to everyone else. Everything moves quickly. Information never stops, and our minds rarely get a moment of silence. But crafting asks something different from us. It asks us to slow down, to focus on one thing at a time. One bead, one stitch, one brushstroke, one folded corner, one line of thread. And somehow that small act of connection becomes calming. I once heard someone describe crochet as giving anxiety somewhere to go. I think about that a lot. Because anxiety often feels like trapped energy. I know that so well. Thoughts circling endlessly with nowhere to land. But repetitive, creative work, knitting, painting, beading, sculpting, journaling, sewing, gives the brain a rhythm. Think of a steam train going slowly along the track. Something steady, something physical, something real. And when your hands are busy, sometimes your mind softens too. A lot of people say crafting helps them through grief. After losing someone, or after a breakup, or during periods where they felt completely alone. Making something became part of surviving. Not in a dramatic movie scene kind of way, usually in very small ways. Getting out beads, lighting a lamp at night, sitting quietly with music on, working on something simple just to make it through another evening. There's something comforting about creating when life feels uncertain. Because even if everything else feels out of control, you can still make progress on one thing. You can finish a row, shape clay into something recognizable, paint color onto a blank page. And maybe that sounds insignificant, but when someone is struggling mentally, things are not small things. Sometimes they are proof that the day was survived. I've also heard people talk about crafting during depression, and one thing that comes up over and over again is the idea of momentum. Depression can make everything feel heavy. Even simple tasks become exhausting. Days blur together. You stop feeling connected to yourself. But creating something introduces movement. Not fast movement, not pressure, just motion. Choosing materials, using your hands, making tiny decisions, watching something slowly take shape. And that process can remind people that they are still capable of creating change, even if it's small. There's also something powerful about making imperfect things, because crafting forces you to confront mistakes constantly. Paint smudges, uneven stitches, crooked edges, projects that don't turn out the way you imagined, but most people keep going anyway. And maybe that matters more than perfection ever could. We're surrounded by polished images online, perfect homes, perfect bodies, perfect productivity, perfect talent. But real creativity is messy, and I think there's healing in allowing something to be imperfect without throwing it away. Some people even say crafting taught them how to be kinder to themselves. Because once you learn to accept flaws in something handmade, you slowly begin to accept flaws in yourself too. There's another part of this people don't talk about enough: community. I love my community. Crafting can be deeply personal, but it can also connect people. People share patterns, teach each other techniques, trade handmade gifts, sit together quietly while working on separate projects. And in time where so many people feel isolated, that kind of connection matters. Not every conversation has to happen face to face. Sometimes care looks like, "I made this for you," or "Here, let me teach you how." I've heard stories from people recovering from burnout who started crafting again after years of feeling emotionally numb. Stories from people with chronic anxiety who use repetitive creative work to ground themselves. Stories from people who felt invisible until they found communities built around making things. And what stands out in all of these stories is that creativity gives people a way back to themselves. Not instantly, not perfectly, but gradually. One project at a time. And maybe part of the reason crafting helps mental health is because it gives us something modern life takes away: presence. When you're focused on creating something, you're usually not worrying about 10 different things at once. Your attention narrows, the world becomes quieter. And for a little while, the goal is simple: just keep making. And maybe that simplicity is healing. Maybe humans were never meant to spend all day staring at screens and absorbing endless information. Maybe we were always supposed to build things, shape things, repair things, create things together. There's something ancient about it, something grounding. Even now, during some of the hardest moments in people's lives, they still reach for creativity. They paint, they sew, they bake, they make jewellery, they carve wood, they write poetry, they make music. They crochet tiny animals at 2 in the morning because it helps them stay calm. And I think that says something important about us. Creating doesn't erase pain, but it can help people carry it. A reminder that difficult feelings can become something meaningful instead of staying trapped inside. And maybe crafting isn't just a hobby. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's expression. Maybe it's survival sometimes. And maybe making things by hand reminds people that they still have the ability to shape something, even when life itself feels uncertain. And if all you can manage right now is making something small, that still counts. Because healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like quietly sitting, hands busy, mind finally slowing down, one creation at a time. So many people quietly use creativity to get through hard days, and there's something really special about that shared experience. And if crafting, creating, or handmade projects brings you comfort too, feel free to subscribe. I would love you to be part of this little creative space. Take care of yourself and keep making things. Remember, You are not alone.